All right, Jack, we into the thick of it. What's going on, Jack?
What's going on, man? I'm thick as I ever been right now. I'm losing weight too.
There you go.
By
with the
like I was
silliness.
300. Now I'm
Jack, you was
like
300 pounds?
yeah, I was 319 pounds.
Damn, Jack.
Now I'm 270, trying to get down to 210.
Okay,
I'm Mike
okay.
Tyson at 210.
The work, you putting the
Yeah.
work in.
Hey, you see, I got the power tower over
I,
there.
I see. I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, that's the
they
dips.
can't see it. But
Yeah,
yo, first this new episode of
in the thick of it.
no, not in the thick of it. So that's how you feel? That's the name of the podcast.
Oh, that's how you feel. Okay.
So that's how you feel?
Okay, you keeping it young, but it's right there in the middle.
Yeah, so that's how you feel? Because you know, a lot of people think they feelings are facts, but your feelings ain't facts.
Mm-hmm. And it ain't no money in your feelings either.
Ain't no money in your feelings right there. Your feelings will lie to you, but the facts don't never lie because they always real.
Ooh,
so
come on now.
So
and love without loyalty is just a hustle.
Always. Love without loyalty is just a fuck. Listen, so
come on now.
So check this out. So we talking about family hurt. So let me explain what family hurt is. So family hurt are those secrets that families hold for years, and they have torn up or are tearing apart somebody on the inside because they know the truth. But people on the outside or other family members act like this thing has not happened or it's not happening. And they wonder why you ain't never around or why certain people don't never come around. And outside family members, they don't know what then took place. So you got those type of things. Or these lies, you have kids walking around feeling like they don't fit into their family and they wonder why they don't fit in. And that's because nobody told you that dude ain't your daddy for real. But everybody in the family know, and they've been talking about it behind your back. Those are family hurt things. Or the family has ostracized certain people. You've been dogged, you've been treated like the black sheep of the family your whole life. And and you can tell that you're not a certain way. So it's created this energy about, or, it's a lot of things. These are just examples that cause, family hurt. A lot of people think all mamas are good. All mamas ain't good. All mamas ain't good. You gotta love your mama. You only got one mama. Well, all mamas don't deserve to be loved. We got a chick here in Atlanta right now up on murder charges because she took her, I think, 2-year-old, 3-year-old to the woods when it was down to 14 degrees and the baby froze to death. And she had taken the other kid who was like 6 with her, and that child is in critical condition. So how that child supposed to feel about that mama when that child grow up? That child ain't no loving bond with their mama after that. Have you done killed my brother and tried to kill me? And you don't get no Mother's Day gift after that. See what I'm saying? So this is what we talking about, family hurt. So the reason why I got Jack Thriller on here, because this is a topic Jack and I we have jumped deep into. We've had numerous conversations about that because we both got a story in our family, and that has made us feel some type of way. So Jack, you want to talk about yours first? But matter of fact, you know what? Since it is my podcast, I guess I should tell mine first, and then we get into yours. What you think?
I like it. I like it. Definitely. You lead us in prayer.
Did you say lead us in prayer? So check it out. So this is my story. So I'm gonna give you the end first, then I'm gonna give you the whole story.
Ooh, just like the Sixth Sense.
Yeah. So I am 49 years old. I just met my biological father for the first time at 45. Yes. I just met him for the first time at 45. And so that's that. So now let me tell you the story. So my whole life I grew up thinking that my father, my biological father, passed away when I was 2. Was told that he was killed, he come from a gangster thugged out family, and some stuff popped off and he was murdered. So
I like that story. That's dope.
Yeah. So growing up, I thought he passed away when I was 2. So then my mother remarried when I was very, very young to my sister and brother's father. And I would go, but I was told, so this guy who I thought was my father, I would go visit him because I thought this was my family. So I would spend summers, half of my summers with my mother, and half of my summer with my father's mother. I would hang out with them. Now they gangster hood. They grew up, they was in one of the most dangerous housing projects in Birmingham, Collegeville. And it used to go down over there. I mean, I had uncles who went to jail for murder and constantly in and out of jail. They smoke weed. I'm like 7 years old. They blowing weed, smoking my face, like, toughen up. You know what I'm saying? So, but I always felt like I ain't belong to them. Like even one of my aunts, one day they was out smoking blunts on the stoop, and she say, I told them that I ain't gonna be like y'all. I'm gonna do something with my life. And I said that was like 8 years old when I said that to her. And so I knew I didn't feel like I fit, but one of the reasons why I didn't think I fit is because of the financial difference. See, we was broke, but they was poor. So I thought that was the big difference between us. I thought that's why I didn't feel like I fit with them, because we didn't live in the projects. We wasn't poor like them. You know what I'm saying? We just was broke. So I was like, that's the difference. That's the only reason why, they out here they trying to make it through and survive. You know what I'm saying? We surviving, we scraping through, but we getting through. Some days they ain't making it through. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was the difference. So grew up, whatever. So fast forward, the way I found out, I was doing a podcast one day, just like this. I was on a podcast. So in the middle of the podcast, I get a text from my mother. It said, God put it on my heart to let you know that the dude who you think your father ain't your father. And the dude who is your father, somebody I dated when I was in New Jersey years ago. She texted that to me. So in the midst of a podcast that was live, just like this, I get that text. So I'm like, what the what? So now I'm just like, so now I got to power through the podcast, even though this bomb just got dropped on me. So I finished the podcast, then I call my mama. So I'm like, yo, what is this about? So then she kind of, still this old school Southern mentality. She kind of had this, this is what happened. It is what it is. I don't really want to talk about it. Like, what? Like, what? Huh? You can't just say this and think this ain't no not talk about this. So I kind of pressed her, but she didn't want to talk about it. So now at this point, I'm hella agitated. I'm agitated. I'm mad. I'm multiple emotions. And it's everything right there. So I'm just like, wow, mind blown. So I go home and I sleep on it, sort of, because I couldn't sleep because I'm thinking about it the whole night. And so so now I had to make a decision. What do I do with this information? So I decided, so I called my mother the next day and I asked her, why did it take so long to tell me this? Because this my initial thoughts of this was, I wish she would have done one or two things with that information. I wish she either would have kept it and took it to her grave, or at least told me when I was significantly younger, like 18. When I turned 18, tell me when I was 18, so I could have, I could have reacted to this. But now, at that time, I'm 45, so you're talking like 20 years, almost 20 years past the 18 mark. So I'm like, now I'm kind of borderline angry. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I'm feeling like you done kept a whole part of my life from me. So her thing was, because of the way it happened, she was embarrassed. So that's why she didn't tell me. So I explained to my mother, I was like, listen, regardless of how this happened, we all grown, we all got stories, we all got past, we all got history. Everybody ain't nobody anybody grown out here without something they past where they don't drop their head like, yeah, I, I ain't necessarily ashamed of that, but I ain't necessarily proud of that either. If you show me somebody who don't have one of them moments in their past, I'll show you somebody who don't live on this earth, because everybody got that. So I told her like, yo, this situation does not mean you're not my mama, don't mean I don't love you, and all the stuff right here. You telling me this would not have changed any of that. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how it happened, it wouldn't have changed any of that. So we so now I got the information, had that conversation with my mama. So now I'm questioning her about it, because now I need to determine whether or not I want to try to find out who my father is. So I make a decision that I want to find out who my father is, because I grew up in a family that's close. I reach out to family members. I hang with my cousins. I'm cool with all my cousins. I talk to them. We text. So just not knowing who your family is, not interacting with your family, I'm just not cut from that cloth. So now it was like, okay, how do we start this? The first hurdle was my mother didn't know a whole lot about him. It was a summer fling. She was young, fresh out of high school, so she didn't really know his name. She knew his nickname. So that's all I had to start with, was his nickname. So I had the nickname. Now, this is how technology help you out. I did the ancestry DNA test. So have you know what ancestry DNA is, Jack?
That's when you go on that program that charges you $100 to find out your lineage.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So it's like 21andMe and all this like that. So the thing about it is, if you do it, you can do it two ways. You could do the DNA test, and it just tells you your lineage. You like from South Africa, you from Asia, da da da. Or you could make your DNA public, and it'll put it in a national database. And once it puts it in the national database, what happens then is it shows you who you're connected to, and it shows minimum connections. So it'll say, like, it may say this person is your third cousin. So what that means is this person is either your third cousin or closer. It can't make a better determination, because remember, it can only use cross-reference DNA that it has. So if it don't have your mama DNA, it can't say, ooh, this person is your mama, because it don't have your mama DNA. So once I found this out, so I say that's a great place to start. So I put my DNA in the national DNA database. So once I did that, automatically somebody popped up as being my first cousin. Now I know all of my first cousins on my mama's side. So clearly this person has to be somebody from my father's side, my biological father's side. So I reach out to them. So I let them know the situation. I'm trying to find out who my father is. And they respond. And but it responded like a couple of days later. So they was like, I'll help any way I can, just let me know what you're looking for, da da da. So I say, well, if you could just tell me who this person is. So I dropped the nickname. He was like, oh, that's my nephew. So this particular dude was my father's uncle. He wasn't my first cousin. So he was like, yeah, that's my nephew. He knew, as soon as I gave the nickname, he knew exactly who it was. So he sent me my father's number. So I didn't call right away. I held on to the number. So, but the thing about it is, my uncle and him met up like 2-3 weeks later, and he thought his uncle thought I had talked to him already. So he said something like, "You talked to your son?" Like, "Yeah, I talked to Jermaine, my brother." He's like, "No," he said, "Your other son, the one that just found me." He's like, "What?" So he told him by mistake, because he was waiting on me to tell him. So he's like, "What?" And so now he had to explain what had happened. So he called. He's like, "Yeah, I think I messed up." He say, "I talked to him," and so he waiting on your call. So then I called him. And let me pause right there. So this is let me tell you the crazy part about it, and then I want you to jump in, Jack. Then I'll tell the rest of the story. So the hard part about starting to look for a missing family member or a parent is the unknown, because you don't know what you're gonna get. Um, because once you start going down this road, the person at the other end of the tunnel could be a million different variations. This could be he could be a murderer, he could be a preacher, he could be a child molester, he could be a crackhead. It's a bunch of different people could be at the end of that tunnel. He could be somebody who going big, he could be a scammer, and so all of these people could be at the end of that tunnel once you start doing this search. So you have to ask yourself, you can also get to the end of this tunnel. He could be a great person, but he don't want to deal with you. He could literally say, hey man, yeah, I hear all of that and whatever, but yeah, I don't, hey, no. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. Because you got to remember, you would be dropping a nuclear bomb in somebody's life. So the potential for that somebody to be horrible at the end of the tunnel is there. The potential for them to say, "Don't contact me no more" is there. All of that is there. So you have to make a conscious decision on whether you're ready to deal with whatever pops up out of that box at the end of that journey. What you got, Jack? Questions before I go to the
I just
thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. You better than me, Lav. On so many different levels. So many different levels. You're just a
Why?
better person.
Why? What makes you say that?
Because the more I listen to you, the more I realize how numb and how cold I am on the inside. So from past traumas and stuff to the point where I just could never see myself actually pursuing finding out who my dad was, under those type of circumstances, even after all that time. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to like really empathize and get out of me and become you. But then in my situation, I just feel like
So hold, but you say your situation. So that's another reason why I paused the story.
Yeah.
Because I want Jack to start his story. And so tell everybody, start from when you was a kid, Jack. Because we've talked about all of this and we've talked about it, but let's talk about it for the people. So take us back to your childhood. How was your childhood? Let's talk about that.
uh, I was born in Albany, Georgia. Um, and it's about two and a half hours away from Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
and on a in the country part of it, man, uh, Putney County, um, and I was born in it on. I lived on a farm,
Mm-hmm.
Cows, chickens, horses, and all that shit. Blah blah blah. Not a really ideal for what I'm saying, with my personality.
Yeah.
At the time, I always felt like it was something more and everything. My granddaddy used to work us like slaves.
Right.
From fixing chicken coops and milking cows and all of those stupid shit, gutting
Mm-hmm.
hogs and stuff. The things that is just as an animal lover
Mm-hmm.
on a couple of different levels.
Right.
When I say animal level on a couple of different levels, I mean one, I like animals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see them cut up and all this other shit and blah blah blah. But at the same time, I like eating animals, and so
Mm-hmm.
uh just watching the process of that, it was pretty traumatic. And then it was my granddaddy was very abusive. My mom was OD abusive,
Mm-hmm.
and child abuse just goes down the line with us and everything. We were beaten with 2x4s and what I'm saying, extension cords, water hoses, public humiliation,
Right.
whoopings in front of the school bus, like naked, that type shit. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah, like that. Yeah, and so I was if I wasn't getting it at home, I was getting it at school. I was always teased and stuff because I was born blind in my left eye with congenital cataracts. and whatnot. So, you know, I've always been cross-eyed. So
Okay.
kids was on my ass every day.
Because
And
kids could be little jerks.
Yeah, the kids don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? They're,
Right.
you know, especially back in the 80s. You know, shit, I can imagine
In 2024 too. So
say what?
they don't care in
Yeah.
2024 too.
Yeah, but I wasn't. It wasn't in a. We were tougher back then. You know, in the sense of, you know, it ain't. I guess we were tougher because we didn't have the same type of shit going on with social media.
Yeah, because
You know, if it was social media back then, I probably would have maybe been a little bit more sensitive than I am right now.
Right.
Because you don't get a chance to grow out of it.
Yeah.
Because you can go start over and be a new motherfucker when you move to another town.
Yeah, but you can't all that follow you with social media.
Bruh, ain't you Sharkeisha?
Yeah.
That shit travels with people can see your ass getting the fuck stumped out your ass, you know, for years to come.
Yes, forever.
Damn. You know what? Maybe these kids are stronger. Whatever. But yeah, I would be. I had a problem with not letting some shit slide, or you know what I'm saying. If somebody said something about me, I made sure that I went for the jugular, and said something back even more painful and hurtful and whatnot. I would wish I was never. That you ever hear people say that I wouldn't wish jail or death on nobody. I was that motherfucker.
Right.
Still am today, you know, under certain circumstances. You know, if you didn't like me, you know, it was really fuck you.
Right.
And
so you kind of became cold-hearted because of what you endured.
Yeah, but it's only to people that don't like me.
Right.
If you like me, I'm your best friend.
Okay.
But if you don't like me, man, I will be fighting 4 and 5 kids at a time on the bus.
Wow.
Getting off the bus and having sometimes the whole bus chase me home from school, trying to stone me, throw rocks at me, all kind of shit. Yeah. And this is just my mom's side of the family. So I ended up moving with my dad when I was 7.
So how was the house at home? So when you got home, how was everything?
We're at home. TV's my friend. I'm watching TV all day and shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Seeing obviously on television that this ain't how normal people live.
Right.
The way I'm living.
Right.
And so just wishing and hoping for something a little bit better. Thought that I was fixing to get that when I go to my my dad's house.
Right.
In Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay.
And his family is from Decatur, Alabama.
Okay. You stay in these little country towns, huh?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And Decatur, Alabama is 30 minutes from Huntsville.
Okay.
And my daddy was OD abusive. He didn't know his daddy. And you know, that's one thing that actually something that's never crossed my mind. Never crossed my mind until probably, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago. Like, hold on, shit, I ain't never met my daddy before, or even asked him about who his daddy was.
Your grandfather.
Yeah, my grandfather. It never crossed my mind. You know, because I just had so much to deal with as a kid, trying to get away from my childhood mentally, that, you know what I'm saying, things that was actually going on around me, it was it was heavy enough.
Like what? Like what was going on around you, Jack? Are you okay?
Yeah.
This you. I know you. So
yeah.
What was going on around you?
My dad, he smoked crack.
Okay.
He used to make me and my brother hide it from him and stuff when before we go to school and shit. He'd always find it too.
Okay.
And you know, I like to think I was pretty creative at hiding crack.
Okay.
You know, I would put it up at
so you out there like the crack Easter bunny.
Yeah, the crack Easter bunny. And to the point where it's like, this nigga got to be peeking to find this crack. You know what I'm saying? Or
a crackhead
money.
Like, listen, a piece of crack to a crackhead, they like a hound dog. They can smell it.
Yeah.
So it ain't had nothing to do with your creativity. You could have been The great, you could have been El Chapo.
Yes,
but a crackhead is going to find crack.
I could have been the Tooth Fairy.
You could have been the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
He's going to find it.
Oh, what them elves is called around Christmas season? The little elf game.
The elf on the shelf.
Elf on the shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna find it.
He gonna find it.
He gonna find it.
And yeah, he will find that shit. And,
Okay.
my daddy, he didn't let us have no fun at all.
Okay.
We had limited snacks and shit. So you go fuck with a snack when you ain't supposed to be fucking with a snack. He'll beat your ass. And then I was once again always kind of smart alecky because I watched a lot of TV and a lot of motherfuckers that I really gravitated to on TV was very precocious.
Okay.
And
so that's what we doing. We using precocious out here today.
Yeah.
Precocious.
Yes, yeah, I was very precocious and very or witty.
Okay.
And my dad always took that as me being smart.
Yeah, back in the days, being witty back in the days was frowned upon as a child.
Yes, especially a black child.
Yes.
Yeah, my daddy always felt like I was trying to undermine him. You know what I'm saying? Or get one in on him, saying something smart and everything. And my second day staying with him at 7 years old, second in the second grade. I remember this like yesterday. I forget exactly what I said, but it was some shit that just made this nigga click. And he just came in the backyard and hit me with a fucking tree branch, not a switch, but a tree branch.
He hit you with a tree at 7?
Yes. And he said, "Hey man, I'm gonna break you before it's over with." And I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about when he talked about breaking me. But whatever I had inside of me, whatever this
precociousness,
this precociousness, this wittiness, he was gonna break that shit up at me. Okay. And he would beat the fuck out of me too. So I had left some extreme ass whooping in Albany, Georgia, that came to another heavyweight ass whooping champion of the world and whatnot.
It's crazy.
Yes, yeah. And so he would, anytime I would get into the littlest trouble, he'll beat my ass. For some reason, him and my mom, they end up getting back together like a year later. And she moves up to Huntsville, Alabama with him. So now I got both these two abusive parents under one roof. My mom and my daddy, they can't get along, and he beating her ass. And one day I remember going to school, and I had seen my grades, and man, I had an F in every goddamn thing. And I waited until my teacher.
That's gonna be a problem.
Yes, I waited until she went to lunch and shit with the class, and I stayed behind and changed my grades. And this nigga came up to the school, and he slapped the shit out of me in front of my whole class. And everybody that didn't like me in that class felt sorry for me, and they were scared for me because they seen that, oh shit, nigga, yo, we gotta leave this nigga alone because this nigga getting it already bad enough at the house. I get home, man, my daddy beat me so bad that I couldn't go to school for like a month. A whole month. I was swollen. This couldn't even move.
So what did the teacher do when your father slapped you in front of the whole class?
Oh, she was cool with it. I guess I was that bad that she was happy to see that had happened. But she looked shocked, but she went with it. It seemed like she wanted him to do something, but she feel like she had brought that on, and she might as well go ahead and
let that happen.
Let it happen.
Wow.
Yeah. So my mom, she ultimately had a problem with the shit, and he beat her ass, and then we end up going to a battered women's shelter for about like a couple of months. At this around the time that the Jackson 5 American Dream is on and all that shit. So I'm watching that shit in a battered women's shelter. So this had to be like 92 or something like that. I'm in the 5th grade at this particular time now, and my mom had we stayed in Baton Rouge for about 2 or 3 months. We moved to these like really crazy ass apartments called I think it was called Cherokee Bend in
Mhm.
Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay. So
Uh,
it's sort of like the project, sort of, or
yeah,
just
it's kind of project-y, about maybe
project.
about about 2 or 3 miles away from the Space and Rocket Center.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and about maybe a couple miles from the Von Braun Civic Center.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. We moved out there. My mom had got sick. She was working at Walmart.
Mhm.
She had got ulcers and stuff because she was so stressed out from trying to get her life
Yeah.
together.
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah. She damn near was about to die, and child services came, picked me and my brother up, and we went to go stay in a orphanage for about like maybe a good was about 6 months to a year. No, 8 months. About 8 months, we was in a better women's shelter till she had gotten better.
Okay. And when
And
she got better, when she got better, better health wise or
health wise,
mental wise,
health wise,
just health wise. So she still was
she still was abusive.
abusive. Yeah.
Yeah, still was abusive. She still wasn't cool. We ain't never been tight. I ain't never been tight with nobody in my family. And
And let me say this. So this is one of the reasons why when me and Jack talked about this, when it was just him and I talking, that's what he just said. Then that resonated with me. Not because I've been close to people in my family, but it resonated because I am so close to my family. The fact that I was talking to somebody who's not close to anybody in their family, that was earth shattering to me. The fact that he's not his mama, not his daddy, his brother, nobody. So I was like, that was wild to me. So that was like, that's a hard thing for me to wrap my mind around.
yeah, we was talking about the holidays and stuff,
Yes, we was talking about the holidays.
and I was just big. I don't have to be nowhere on holidays, and it don't bother me. It doesn't bother me like I don't that I'm missing out on family type shit. But I think it's really dope to see that other people are celebrating. I can live through you doing your family being happy and whatnot.
Mhm.
I don't have to be there,
Yeah.
but just the thought of it that makes me cool with it. But I don't have to. I don't feel bad and not going to go chill with my family
Right.
or during the holidays and some shit like that. And it's not that I don't hate nobody. It's just that I just don't care enough to do that.
But I can see how that connection never took place because of the situation. So those formative years when kids typically are growing those connections with their family and with their parents or whatever, those years were tumultuous
Yeah,
with
yeah.
you. So I can see that.
And
So
what did you end up doing too? Is you say that you know what? One day I have my own family. I'm gonna just make my own new shit.
and I don't have to. I give up on all of this.
Yeah,
I'll start from scratch when I get
yeah, yeah.
grown. Okay, I feel that.
And I tried it, and it didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go. I thought it was gonna fill a void and everything. But inside of our line of work too, it's hard to meet someone and that make genuine connections like that.
Yeah, but it's hard to make a genuine connection. Period. When you never were shown how to make a genuine connection, Jack.
And then there's that. Yeah.
So I think that probably played a bigger role in it than necessarily being able to meet somebody. Is if you
Yeah.
if you've never experienced a embracing environment, family environment, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to know how to create one of those. We ain't never seen it or never been around it or been immersed in it.
Mm.
So, which is again now coming back to mind, which is why it was such a big deal for me because on my mother's side, they are really close like that. They hang out. We have family reunions every year. So I never came. I was always in an environment where family kicked it with family, where family hung out with family. So that is one of the things that led me to wanting to know who my father was. You know what I'm saying? Because
Okay, gotcha.
because it's like that's not how we get down. We don't just leave family members out there. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we do. And you don't have to be perfect. I got family members who ain't necessarily the best people on earth, but our thing is you family, we know how to deal with you. We deal with you how we need to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is. So when I going back when we did the DNA test, and then I reached out to my father and I talked to him on the phone. So he was expecting my call. And this is I laugh because this what shows you that DNA plays a huge role in who you are. The whole conversation, nature versus nurture. My father says, you know what? He said, he heard it. He was like, well, and mind you, he did not know that I was out there. My mother never told him. He had no inkling of it. So all this is new to him too.
Your mama kind of cool for that.
Yeah. So it's
she kind of cool for that, man.
How's she cool?
Because what if he didn't want a baby, but she wanted you? Your mom wanted you, obviously.
Well,
and maybe she felt like he wasn't good enough for you.
She didn't know. She didn't know him like that, so she couldn't know whether he was good or bad for me.
She just probably caught a vibe off of him.
But clearly she got the wrong vibe.
Okay.
Because so he says
people change over time.
Well, so I'll tell you about him, and then you make your own determination.
Okay.
So he says, you know what? He say, you know what this is what this is. He said, there are no time machines. What has happened has happened. Can't do nothing about what happened in the past. All we could do is move forward from the day. So from the day, I got another son. And he say, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go, we're gonna get DNA tests, just to legitimate make sure everything is what we think it is. And he said, don't worry about it. I'm gonna pay for everything, I'm gonna set everything up. And he set up everything. All I had to do is, and he is in New Jersey. So he set everything up. I went to the doctor here in Atlanta, did the DNA test. The chick who was doing the DNA test, she kind of was laughing. She was like, I don't really know. I'm kind of having to read the test differently. She was like, because I'm not used to doing this with grown people. She's like, typically I'm doing all this on a little baby. She said, so for this, you to be a grown man, she said, I ain't used to the person being able to talk back to me. So we did it. Of course, everything came back. 99.9999999. He was my father. So this is what lets you know that the whole longing and desire to be family is DNA ingrained. I have a brother and sister with my biological father. They told him, like, listen, once he told them what was going on, first of all, they laughed at him because he, like me, he's very laid back. He's not the rah-rah dude. So they was like, yo, this is some wilding out type stuff. Pops, that ain't how we know you. We don't know you to be out there in them streets like that. So for you to have a kid pop up, they thought that was hilarious because that's just not how they saw their father. He wasn't in them streets type dude.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So your dad was pretty decent.
Yeah. So
how your mama is?
Yeah, boy. So he
I'm sorry about that.
You stupid. So he
hold on before you go on. Good. When you found out you both of y'all seeing that it's 99%, 99, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what do y'all just embrace? Like,
we still was over the phone. We still at this point we still hadn't met each other face to face yet. So everything's still happening over the phone.
Oh, so you don't see him yet.
I haven't seen him yet.
Oh,
still.
So you can stay where you at and he can stay where you at. If shit ain't what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so he took his DNA test in New Jersey. I took my DNA test in Atlanta.
Oh, man.
And then the company merged everything and did all the testing that way.
How long it take?
It took about a week. Took about a week, and
Wow.
we everything came back in about a week.
Do you call him immediately, or does he call you immediately,
So
or do you
he
digesting it for a couple of days? And
so he called me.
Okay.
Once he got his test, he called me. We both got a letter in the mail the same day.
Okay.
I had a show, so I was out.
Okay.
I hadn't got it. I was out of town, so I knew the letter was there, but I hadn't had a chance to look at it. And he said he got his. He's like, and I opened it up. He's like, do you want to wait until you get home so you can look at it yourself, or you want me to just tell you what it say? I was like, you can go ahead and tell me what it say. I was like, we waited 45 years. Ain't no sense to keep waiting. So he was like, well, that's what he told me. It's 99.999. So he was like, so then my brother and sister, they saw the paperwork because they all opened it up together, and they was like, okay, now it's confirmed. Everybody know who everybody is. Now it's full speed ahead. It's like, yo, they's like, when we gonna see each other? And then he was like, well, let's wait. He was like, ain't no waiting. He's like, he was like, we wasted.
Who's saying wait?
My father, he was like, his thing was, give me time to adjust, give me time to absorb all of this. He's like, trying to explain to them, you can't just push this on him. He might be. And they was like, nah, he our brother. So
how did you feel about it?
I was
what your daddy said.
I was okay with that because, well, not okay with. I was kind of on the sense with my brother and sisters, like, yo, it's been 45 years. It is what it is at this point. We might as well start creating these moments and start getting this time in and start seeing each other. The sooner we see each other, the sooner we could, get this ball rolling and start trying to become a unit. A unit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the easy part of it. Now the mental part of it is the feeling of anger because I feel like a part of my childhood was taken from me. I feel like a part of my life was taken with no consideration for me. See what I'm saying? It's if my father was the family dude, my father was a family dude. He was always in my brother and sister's lives in New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? They hung out. He was that gang. He did all of this fatherly stuff. So it is clear that had he known about me, he would have been active in my life. See, so I missed out on all of these moments potentially that my father could have been there because that just didn't happen. So I feel cheated to a certain degree, and at times I still get angry about that. I kind of grit my teeth a little bit because it is like, how dare you do that to me? You know what I'm saying? And it's a situation where you're never going to be able to get that back. You know what I'm saying? So now at 45, I got to try to create where hopefully a bond will manifest that should have happened 45 years ago. See what I'm saying? It's like, now, and I got a brother and sister, like my brother and sister with my mother, I grew up with them. So, and we're close. I talk and joke with my sister and brother all the time. So now I got to learn how to do those things with my brother and sister, with my father, because we didn't have those moments. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't in school together. We didn't, come home like, man, Miss Jones. And what I'm saying? We just never had those moments. And so I feel like at times there's a void, with them. And then there's, don't get me wrong, my brother and sister, my new family, new old family, they super tight. There's hella welcoming. Had you not, this is how they treated me. They treated me as if I had been part of the family, somehow vanished, and then showed back up again. That's how they treated me. So you would have never thought that they had never met me before in their life, because that's just not the way they treated me. And that's not the way they treat me now. You know what I'm saying? So it is in the grander scheme of things, I won.
They did too, laugh.
Yeah,
You're an amazing man.
Jack,
You
stupid.
you got it. You know, they had a famous brother and whatnot. They seen you on TV and da da da. Like you said earlier, you know, you could have been a child molester, you could have been a rapist, you could have been
Yeah, I
some
could have
type
I
of
could have been all those things
all
too.
those
You
things,
right.
but
You
you end
right.
up being the goddamn dude on Comic View and a traveling working comedian that supports himself from doing that. And you come from a decent home with amazing children and some more shit.
Yeah.
They won.
Yeah. Well,
They without no help from dad.
yeah.
45 years.
Yeah.
You made it happen. You did that yourself, Antoine Fisher.
I'm still standing. So
Without you.
yeah. So I think we all won. We both won.
Definitely.
Yeah, we both won.
I just want you to know how special you are.
You stupid Jack.
I just wish you could see what I see.
Jack, stop talking to me.
Right.
Listen. So I think we both won. But so now flipping it back to you, Jack.
Yeah.
I think the thing I like about Jack Thriller is the fact that now, you know, I know your story, and now the people know your story. The thing about Jack, if you don't know Jack is one of probably one of the most positive people I've ever met in my freaking life. I mean, when I tell you the positivity, if you ever feel bad about your station in life or how your day going, call Jack. When I tell you this, Jack is the dude, and I lie to you not. Jack will call you like, "Hey, what's going on, Jack? You're going on because God loves you. Did you know that? That's how Jack called you." Or Jack, you'll be on the phone talking to Jack. You get ready to get off the phone with Jack. Jack be like, "Hey, I just want to let you know if nobody told you today, I love you." Click. What? Jack is super positive. So, and the thing I love about that is the fact that knowing Jack's story, Jack could have very well been a trash human after everything you went through as a child. You could be one of these dudes out here who just really just like grimy ass, bottom of the barrel ass dudes, but that's not Jack. That's just not Jack. Now, don't get me wrong, Jack got his ways, but who don't? But he's not no trash dude. Anybody who say Jack is a trash dude, I fight you because that's not Jack. And I'm not saying that because he right here. I'm not just saying that because he's my friend. Anybody who knows Jack knows that he is that dude. He always got some positive and upward to say on a regular basis. So that's my thing. I think that's your superpower, the thing that you came out of the nuclear disaster with. You know what I'm saying? You came out with a drive that is freaking crazy. You came out with a positivity, a beacon. You that dude. It's like Jack is the train. He the engine of the train. This dude is, if the train going down the track, Jack on the front of that mud like this. Like, which way we going? This is Jack. So Jack, that's what I think you came out of. Because you could have been a lot of things too, but you're not those things. Because you know, it's a lot of people, they are in prison, they are a lot of places. And if you look at their background and their history, it mimics and sounds like yours.
Man, I appreciate it. Man, I need this part. I need to put this on my page. I thought I was that guy.
Yeah, you are.
I didn't know you felt like I was him. Man, thank you, man.
You so
man, bro, man, I'm serious. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, Jack, you
this some good mirror work, man.
Yeah, hey, man.
I work on being a really great person every day. I'm trying to. That's my goal.
That's all us, Jack.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah, I just wanted to rub off on folks. I try to talk to my family and be this for them, and it's hard for them to let some of that rub off on them, and
Right.
pretty much choose happiness, because happiness is an inside job.
Right.
Just like a bank robbery, if you got it going, if you start inside of here, it'll spread on out, and you'll get away out this life with being happy.
Yeah, you right.
It just is a trickle down effect. That's what I think. And then if I'm wrong, shit, I don't want to be right.
I ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Jack.
Yeah, hey, that's what my goal is.
Exactly.
That's what my MO. I mean, I appreciate that.
Hey, Jack, ain't
Thank
nothing wrong
you.
with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, on that note, I guess we can get about it since we've shared all of our personal and private business.
Yeah, sure thing, man.
So
let it out. Just you talk to someone, let that out. Go get some professional help. And it's nothing wrong with that either. It's no shame in it. I talked to all my brothers and all my friends that's inside of the military. They get it for free, but they have programs online like even betterhelp.com. You go on betterhelp.com and they can help you. They have staff on deck 24 hours a day that can help you out with all different types of problems, whether it be relationship, depression, you know what I'm saying? If you lost somebody inside your family, is someone that is perfect for you if you need to talk to somebody, and you do.
Oh, without a doubt. Don't never be afraid to talk to somebody with some paperwork on the wall.
100%.
Talk to somebody with some paperwork on the wall.
Yeah, hey, a matter of fact, hey, BetterHelp sponsor Lav's podcast. They got some really good incentives.
Yeah, but every episode ain't gonna be this positive. So
okay.
So some episodes we do everything. We can do politics. We're gonna do a lot of stuff. So
they do all that too.
Okay,
they sponsor all that shit.
Okay, well then, we hey, hit me up. I'm willing to take a check.
BetterHelp.com.
But hey, that's hit me up. Let's get this check. Jack, appreciate it.
Man, thanks for thinking about me, man.
Hey, man,
that's crazy.
Hey, man, Jack. I couldn't think of nobody else who's more perfect for this episode.
No, what did you think about that Dr. Publix?
Hey, okay, so
be honest,
Jack. So this is the cup is disappearing, but let me tell you. So Jack got Dr. Publix. You know Dr. Pepper. He got Dr. Publix. So it's the Publix version of Dr. Pepper. Let me say this: it ain't that bad. It ain't bad. It ain't bad. I'm pleasantly shocked and surprised that it because it ain't that bad. So it's a bootleg soda, but I'm here for it.
Hey, it was $1.19. Ask me how much was the 2-liter of Publix?
How much was
of Dr. Pepper?
How much was 2 liters of Dr. Pepper?
It was $4.29.
Yes, you got to find sales. There's no way in the hell you should be paying $4 for no soda.
Yeah, for a 2-liter. No, this was a 2-liter of Dr. Publix. Bro.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You got to find
for
a sale.
$1.19. That ain't a sale.
No. That's a sale, but that's a good price. But what I'm saying is you can find the Dr. Pepper for cheaper than the $4. Trust me on that.
Well, y'all tell me where y'all buy y'all Dr. Pepper at and whatnot, and see if you can match $1.19.
Let's go. We not buying no Dr. Publix. Jack.
You bougie.
Hey, you damn
you
right.
are bougie.
I'm not. I drunk the Dr. Publix.
Yeah, but so I thought it was a thing where you was gonna say you was gonna walk away from this podcast saying, you know what? Not only did we heal tonight, but I also found a Dr. Pepper alternative.
No, I didn't do that. I did.
Okay.
It's not gonna replace Dr. Pepper. It's not bad, but it's not gonna replace it.
Okay. You can't see yourself having a 2-liter of Dr. Publix inside your refrigerator.
No, I'm gonna go and pay that extra $3. Listen, okay. We'll catch y'all next week.
Good stuff.